To social services and community centers and libraries. The question says that social services and community centers are seeing huge annual growth of 10%. What is your plan for addressing this growth that parallels schools? The growth in schools, sorry. I'm not sure.
What's the growth in social services?
This is related to community centers, libraries, and social service, growth in these services.
I think what the question is how are we going to provide enough facilities for the growing population that we have? Is that close enough for whoever answered the question?
It was my question. It was facilities and the growing demand for these services. We're seeing it almost 10% a year and across a lot of services.
Growth, okay. Well, we need to be, one, redoing our facilities, like this one. We need to be smart about it. That was one of the things that the Facility Study Working Group said is, don't just have like a library that's a library all by itself, or a community center that's a community center all by itself. We have a need for facilities, and we need to have them share facilities and kind of co-locate. So that's something that we're looking at doing, and in fact looking at doing here. We need to make sure that it's still within the scale of the neighborhood. But we really need to be making really good use of our facilities that we have. For social services, we need to make sure that we are meeting the needs of the folks that we have here. We have wonderful nonprofits who do a great job. For example, I think many of you are familiar with AFAC. AFAC needs more storage for what it's doing. And we have other nonprofits, Doorways is one of them. There are a number of them that I think the county could be doing more support of. And in fact, we have tasked the manager with doing a study of how we handle and relate to our nonprofits so that we're providing them in an equitable way the support that they need. So I think our nonprofit partners are crucial to doing what we need to do, and we need to keep clear about what it is that's needed and make sure that we budget appropriately to meet people's needs.
One of the reasons why I joined so many in supporting the recommendations of the community facility study is because it talked exactly about this. It was, how do we make sure that we're being smart and holistic in our thinking about what we're going to do? And we're sitting right here in a community center that is now going to be in the CIP, that is going to be redeveloped in some way. And we need to do that in a way that is comprehensive. In other words, this is the recommendations that were laid out, is let's not go, site by site, figuring out, well, okay, we have a site, now what do we do with it? Let's look holistically at what are all of our needs, how are they growing, and then how do we fit them together? Because that's how you come up with the creative solutions where you get synergy, where you figure out that you can have that a community center, it could be a school by day and a community center by night, for example. That you need to come up, we need to be creative. We have a finite number of resources, and as far as the growth goes, I think that gets back to making sure that our economy remains strong, that we maintain our competitive advantage by making sure that we are investing in the things that we need to be investing in, like our transportation infrastructure, making sure we have great schools, because that's what attracts the workforce here. When you attract the workforce, you attract the employers. When the employers come, they fill up the office buildings, and they pay the taxes that pay for the growth in those kinds of services that you asked about in your question. Thank you.